We're going to aim to come in, including the land purchase, at around 150, max 200K. That's our goal. Let's see if we can do it. The home we are building is the 3-bedroom Cabin 85 kit from Widespan Kit Homes. The 85 square metre home has a shed-like appearance on the exterior and can be fitted out however you like internally. We plan on using a 1.5 metre flooring system to try and capture some of the beautiful views Russell Island has to offer. The home has 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and is one of the only kit homes we were able to find that offered 3 bedrooms with a small enough overall footprint to fit on our block of land. We did a lot of research on different kit homes before choosing this one, so if you do have any questions or you would like me to make a comparison video, let me know in the comments below. Over the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to share with you our entire build process. From getting our documents approved with the Certifier to final lockup stage, we want to share with you any tips or tricks we learn and also what the total cost comes in at, which may be very different from what we expect. So if you do want to follow along on our journey, like this video and subscribe, and I promise I'll share with you anything that we think could be valuable to you if you also want to build your own home, own a builder in the future. Hi everyone. My name's Chris, and I have decided to start doing this video because we're currently building a house, own a builder, and this is the first time I've ever taken on a project like this. I'm an electrician by trade, but in terms of everything else to do with the house, I actually have no idea. So in terms of tiling, carpentry, plastering, all that sort of thing. So I wanted to start this video because I think a lot of other young people out there would really love to own their own house, but it just seems a bit impossible at the moment. Like, house prices have skyrocketed, especially during COVID. And, you know, I think owner building is a way that potentially you can still build a house, have your own home, but at a much more affordable price. So it's the avenue I'm going down now. And basically my partner and I are doing this because we want to have our own home for the security of it. We don't want to be paying rent forever, but literally at the moment it's impossible to buy. You know, if you're on $80,000 average wage and you're in a capital city, like, good luck buying a house. Like, it's over $1 million now. So we've bought on an island called Russell Island, a block of land which actually was pretty affordable, 46,000, and we're going to build our own kit home. So I actually wasn't planning on having this video, but then I thought maybe a lot of other people want to own their home, don't think they've got a chance at it, just because everything's gone so crazy. And I think the prices just reflect how unstable the market is, and it's very disheartening. So if this video can help someone else be inspired to build their own home, that would be great. I don't even know how this is going to go for me yet. You know, you might watch this video, and as the videos go on, it might get worse and worse and worse and seem very difficult to build a house. I don't know. One of the things I've found is that if you want to become an owner builder, you can do an owner builder's course. But the problem with the owner builder's course is they don't actually really teach you anything besides where to find out, you know, which different legislative bodies govern different things. Like in Queensland, it's QBCC. That's the Queensland Building and Construction Commission. And really that information isn't that helpful. I mean, if you're looking at building a house, you need to know, like, what stage do I do the foundations? Who do I contact to do the foundations? Do I need an approval once I've done my foundations, or can I just start, you know, putting the flooring system in and building straight away? What's the process to a build? All of these things are not answered by an owner builder's course. So if you're thinking about doing an owner builder's course, just expect that you're not really going to learn anything about the actual build process. That's one thing that I found quite difficult, and I've been, you know, going back and forth between, after completing the owner builder's course, okay, where do I start? I know I have to get to lodge for approval with council. And so that's originally who I contacted. I contacted council and I said, hey, like, for a development approval, what sort of requirements do I need to meet? What documents do I need to submit to you? And that's when I realized that actually you need to go through a private building certifier. A certifier is the one that will grant you permission to build a building and make sure that you're building your building up to scratch and up to code. So your building certifier is who you need, not the council. The council you need for plumbing approval, but not the actual building approval. That's your certifier. So that's something I've learned, and I would highly recommend trying to do a bit of research about good building certifiers in your area, because I think if I had started my process with the building certifier straight away, Essentially, it would have been a lot easier because I spoke to the building certifier we went with, and I can share his details, but I don't think that many people will be building in the Bay Islands up in Queensland. But if you are, hit me up. I'm happy to share you his details. But he was super helpful. He told me all about, okay, this is the process. You need to get these documents together for me. Once you've got these documents, I can give you the tick of approval to essentially start your build. And then as the build goes, essentially the build has to get certified at different steps. Like for example, with the home we're building a 85 square meter kit home, which is actually super exciting. It's going to be reasonably small, and the layout's very standard, nothing special. But I think as someone who actually doesn't understand anything about home building, is probably perfect. And so we're going with a raised floor system, which means we need to put, like, essentially dig holes and put poles in the ground that the floor system sits on. So they're called piers. I've learned this recently. And the piers essentially need to be inspected by an engineer. So you get the holes dug, and then an engineer comes and inspects, okay, have you dug the holes to the right depth? And does it comply? And then you do your flooring system and everything like that. You get the whole frame of the building up. And once all the frame is together, then you need another inspection from the engineer to say, yes, you've used, the correct bolts, nuts, all that sort of thing. For me, it comes in a kit, so I'm hoping that will all be fine. But they inspect, again at that stage. So they'll inspect, okay, perfect, you've done a great job, is what I hope they'll say. And then you can move on to the next stage, which is fitting the building out, the electrical, plumbing, plastering, all those sorts of things. And then there's a final inspection stage. So I'm very excited to see how it all goes. I want to share the journey with you because I am very passionate about other people in our position where we're reasonably young, and we want to own a home, but it just feels impossible. And I think owning your own home that you've built is pretty cool. And I think it is a lot cheaper. But let's see, we're going to aim to come in, including the land purchase, at around 150, max 200K. That's our goal. Let's see if we can do it. So I'm just in the process of filling out some quote forms for potential building certifiers, because originally we spoke to one who sounded excellent. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about and that he would help us through the whole process. But it was very expensive. Like, it was over $6,000 for the certifier, and as far as I'm aware, they help you through the whole process. But really, it's just, do you have all your documents at the start, and then submitting those documents, or basically helping submit those documents to council, giving you building approval, and then the final inspection. So $6,000 does seem like a lot of money. I ended up Googling how much the average was, and it says about $3,000 is what you should pay. So I'm just filling out some other quote forms now. Not many people are getting back to me. I've submitted two days ago, one yesterday. I ended up calling them to follow up as well. Not much luck. So yeah, maybe it's worth paying the extra money to have a building certifier that's going to sort of be more attentive. But $6,000 seems like a lot. The other thing is we got the energy efficiency quote. So you have to get a 7-star, they call it NATHERS energy rating, so a new home rating, a minimum of 7 stars. We got 3 quotes, and one came in, I have it here. One came in at $396. One came at $684 and one at $480, and they all do the same thing. So the $684 one is over 70% more expensive than the cheapest. So yeah, getting 3 quotes is definitely important, we've realized already. Because if you could pay 70% more on average, if you go with a more expensive quote, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So we've booked in the 7-star rating. We're still trying to find a good certifier. Hopefully we can find a good certifier soon, because that's kind of holding everything up now. The certifier needs to approve all the documents. We know what other documents we need now, but until we get the certifier, we can't really keep moving. So I'm going to submit a few more quote forms, make a few more calls, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can find a good one. But it's doesn't seem easy. And let's see how we go. Oh, and the other thing, we didn't realize this when we first bought the property, because we knew it was important to look at what they call overlays. It's something you definitely need to be aware of. But we didn't realize ours actually is within a landslide overlay, which means we have to go to town planning and get them, and by them I mean some like a structural engineer or something like that, or a geotech engineer, to look at the land and basically write a report to say that the land's okay to build on. So that was definitely an oversight on our part. Hopefully that's not a big thing. But we're going to contact an engineer on the island, and we'll see. I mean, hopefully it doesn't restrict us from building what we want. Hopefully it's just a formality thing, but it sounds like it will at least cost us more money, maybe a few $100s. Hopefully it doesn't cost too much. We're going to keep tracking all these expenses, and we'll let you know what it comes in at. But yeah, I'm hoping not too much. Good morning. Just got my morning coffee, and today is a very exciting day. Today is the day we purchased our kit. So we've already paid the $9,000 deposit, but we've still got about $40,000 to pay, so we'll be $50,000 in. But what that means is our kit will go into manufacture. So we should have our kit home in 3 months from today, which is super exciting. I'm just heading home now. Bo and I are going to pick out the colors for the color bond, so for the walls and the roof sheeting. Then we'll place our order. So very exciting. Okay, so after all that excitement about coming home, picking the colors for the tin and ordering the kit home, we found that actually we can't go ahead with it. So after looking at all our planning, we realized that we'd forgotten quite a vital step in the process in order to be finished on time. So our original goal was 3 months to get the kit into manufacture, pick it up, then the build for about another 3 or 4 months. And the reason this was important is we had to order the kit in order to get it manufactured over 3 months. And then once we got the entire kit, we could get the piles for the footings. So we could do the footings. So the footings couldn't start for 3 months from ordering the kit. Now, we have to show that we've actually done our foundations for the home. So the footings in and inspected before June 30 to get the full $30,000 first homeowners grant. Because of when we purchased the land originally. And because of this, because we've made this little stuff up, essentially we won't get this done by June 30, and that means that the $30,000 we were going to receive will now be $15,000. So we've essentially lost $15,000 from one bad planning move. So essentially what we did is we didn't factor in the amount of time required to wait for the owner builder's permit to be granted. So we've done everything right in terms of contacting the independent certifier. We've had our site plan drawn up. We know the house we want to build. We know the kit home. We've got all the plans. Unfortunately, we didn't factor in the average 4-week wait time for your permit to be granted. So a really important tip, make sure once you know you want to proceed with the build and you've got your land, get that building application permit in with the government, because essentially you're going to be waiting 3 to 4 weeks, and the building certifier won't grant you building approval without that permit. And we could technically order our kit today still, but the problem is without that permit being granted, we don't even know if we can build the home. So we don't want to put $40,000 into a kit home, get it manufactured, and then find out in 2 or 3 weeks, oh, sorry, you can't actually build this home for whatever reason. I think that's unlikely, but it's definitely not worth the risk. So unfortunately, that means we've stuffed this up, and we will receive half of the first homeowners grant, which is $15,000, but it's a pretty big oversight. So I think if I were to do this again, I would do as soon as I had the land, get that owner builder's permit, because that is something that has cost us a lot of money. And it also means we can't order the kit when we want to, which obviously then means it's pushing back our build date. And we've planned a certain period. We were hoping June, July to start the build, take some time off work. It was going to be perfect timing, not too hot. And, obviously we've made arrangements with work and everything. So project management is really important, doing your owner build. And I'm definitely happy to help. I'm going to put together a document with the steps we should have taken as owner builders. So whether it be the owner builder's permit first, contacting your certifier next, etc. I think a document like that would be really handy. So I'm going to do that. I'll pop a link to it in below the video here. But yeah, $15,000, huge loss. We're going to keep moving forward, obviously. We're not going to let it deter us. But that's today's update. Super excited to let you know once we've purchased the kit. We have picked out colors, but we'll let you know that soon. And yeah, it's getting very exciting. A little setback, also some wins. I guess it's all part of the process. So it's now the 11th of May and we've almost finished the planning process. So we're only waiting on one document for the Certifier, which is the plumbing approval. Hopefully by the time we create the next video, we can tell you that we've been all approved and we've ordered our kit home. Let's see. If you've liked the video and you want to follow along on our journey, please like and subscribe to the channel. If there's anything in particular you want to know about the owner build process, please let me know in the comments below and we'll try and do our best. And if you are doing your own owner build yourself and you've got any tips for us, please let us know as well, because we're new to this, we want to know as much as we can. But thanks for watching and hopefully we'll see you next time.